Okay, then next Android core building block is a Vue. Here in Android, layout is used to define the user interface for an application or an activity, right? And generally a typical user interface or layout hold the UI elements that appear to the user. Android activities will contain multiple user interface components, and those UI components are the instances of Vue and Vue group subclasses. Okay, so all the UI controls like text box, say text view, it may be text edit text, it may be list view, it may be checkboxes, it may be radio buttons. All these UI components or UI controls are the instances of the Vue and Vue group subclasses. It means the UI controls are the all UI controls are derived from the Vue and Vue group base classes. And then there is one concept that is called as Android Vue. So Android Vue is a base class for all UI components in the Android. It may be any UI component. Every UI component is derived or extended from the Android Vue built-in class. For example, say edit text. Edit text class which is used to accept the input from users in the form of text or numerical form. Okay, so here in edit text is also a subclass of a Vue class. Or you take example of list view. Again, list view is a subclass of the subclass or child or derived class of the Vue class. Okay, so in Android, following are some common Vue subclasses that will be used in Android applications. Most of these controls or UI components we have seen in our practical sessions as well as theory sections as well. Okay, so there will be a text box, edit text, button, checkbox, radio button, image button, progress bar, and spinner. These are some prominent or frequently used UI components which are say derived from the Vue class. Then Android Vue group. The Vue group is a subclass of a Vue class, and it will act as a base class for layout and layout parameters. In practical on Android layouts, we have seen various types of layouts. It may be in a linear layout, absolute layout, it may be relative layout, or it may be table layout or grid layout. Okay, so all these layouts are derived from a base class which is called as the Vue group, and Vue group is a built-in class of Android SDK. The Vue group will provide an invisible container to hold the other views or Vue groups and to define layout properties. Okay, so the task of Vue group is to provide invisible container. Invisible container means invisible rectangular area of activity which holds the other views or other Vue groups or UI components to define their properties. Okay, so whenever we define any layout in .xml file, indirectly we are using the area of Vue group parent which holds that particular child UI components or views, or it may be another Vue groups as well. For example, say linear layout. So linear layout is a Vue group that contains the UI components like button, text view, progress bar, then image button, etc., and some other layouts as well. Okay, so following are commonly used Vue group subclasses in Android application. Vue group subclasses is nothing but these are the layouts, various layouts in Android system. So there may be linear layout, relative layout, table layout, frame layout, or it may be web view, list view, or grid view. All these layouts are derived from the Vue group base class. Then the last core building block of an Android operating system is called as the Android manifest.xml file. Actually, in first practical, we have seen in detail this Android manifest file. each and every element of the Android.manifest file. We have seen it, but again, as a core part or core block of an Android system, we will again focus to some major aspects of the Android.xml file. So generally, Android.xml file is very important file that contains the information about the application. It means how many activities your particular application contains, or how many or which other components, like it may be broadcast receivers, it may be content providers, it may be some services, or it may be some other components. So all these components are specified in the Android manifest.xml file. Okay, so typical and sometimes Android manifest.xml file contains some permissions. For example, say suppose your application need to access a internet or a network. For example, if you are going to develop an application that sends an SMS message to the other recipient, so in that case your application need to access the network, right? In that case, that permission should be included in your Android manifest.xml file. Until and unless you have included that permission, your application won't work properly, or it cannot send SMS to the other recipient. And typical Android.manifest file looks like as shown in this particular snapshot here. Okay, so here this is the Android manifest opening tag, and this is the closing tag. Now here this XML NS stands for XML namespace, and this is URI string. It is not a URL. Okay, we cannot call it as URL, but it is a string that specifies that whatever tags are used in this particular file or XML file, those tags belongs to the Android operating system, and those tags should not be interpreted as a HTML tag or other HTML tag, or say other tag. Okay, so that is why this namespace, if this namespace is specified, then each and every tag into that particular XML file are interpreted as an Android application tag. Okay, then next important aspect in Android manifest.xml file is that it should mention the package name. So package here, package is equal to com.example.del.fragment. But remember, you don't need to write this code explicitly. When you create an application, this code will be created by default for you by the Android setup. The next tag is the application tag. This is opening tag, and this is the closing tag. Okay, and in between these, all your application's properties are defined. For example, launcher application, say launcher icon of your application is specified using the Android icon property here. So @mipmap means it is this particular ICS underscore launcher icon, the file name with this image file with this name will be resides in mipmap folder. Okay, and IC launcher, it means this icon will be displayed on the home screen of your mobile phone, and when you tap or click on that icon, your application will be opened. Okay, similarly a theme can be set up using Android theme property and assigning the value like this one. And another important say component of your application is that is called as the activity. Okay, so here this is the opening tag of activity, and this is closing tag of the activity. Since this application might have only one activity, that's why only one activity tag is here, but real world Android application may have n number of activities. So depending upon the number of activities, here will be each opening and closing tag of activity in the Android.xml file. Okay, so here in activity tag, important property is called as the name. So it is specified like Android name, and it is equal to, it is the name of the class. Okay, name of the class that is concerned or related with that particular activity, and it is given, it is preceded, class name is preceded with the dot operator or dot symbol like this one. Okay, So Android connect name is equal to dot main activity. It means that in this application, wherever main activity class will be defined, it may be in main activity Java file. So that file is related to this activity. Okay. Then under activity, another tag that is called as the intent filter. This is opening intent filter, and this is closing intent filter tag. And this is again a very important tag that specifies the behavior of your activity. Okay. So intent filter generally have two attributes. First one is called as the action, and another called as the category. So both attributes have to specify a name so that your activity can behave likewise. For example, here under intent filter, the action tag, in action tag name is set to the android.intent.action.main. This is predefined constant in the Android setup or Android operating system, which indicates that this particular activity in which this action is specified will be a main activity of that particular Android application. And main in the sense, execution of that particular application will start from from this activity. It means .java file of this activity. In other way, we can say onCreate function of an activity which is specified here. It will be the entry point of your Android application's execution. Okay. And another attribute in intent filter is called as the category. Okay. And here again we need to specify the name for category using this particular syntax. So like Android colon name is equal to Android dot intent dot category dot launcher, right? Again it is a inbuilt constant, and this launcher launcher category specifies that whenever the user taps or clicks on the application icon from the phone screen, home screen of the phone or emulator, then the activity which will open, that is this activity. Okay. If the launcher category is set to that particular activity, then this activity will be opened up before other activities. Okay. Suppose here there might be again two activities, activity below this one. So irrespective of three activity, this activity will be a main activity. It means it will be a entry point for execution, and it may be launcher launcher category. It means when you user taps on the icon, then this activity will be open first, first of the all remaining activities. Right. So this is about Android manifest.xml, and with this topic we have covered all core building blocks of the Android operating system.